Hello, period 4. Sorry about that interruption. I am back, part 2 of the video to continue our notes from today. Ratio and rates, day 2, word problems. We're doing this all in one day because there's just a few word problems, okay? Okay, so we're going to learn how to graph a few of these ratio and rates as well today. We're going to graph the speed of a subway car, use time in minutes for the x-axis. Remember that this is the x-axis, and they said use time in minutes. So that's how we're going to label the x-axis. And distance in miles for the y-axis. So here's the y, and we're going to use distance in miles. Your chart graph should look like my graph. Label your graph with 3 labels. It says 3 because when you do this on your test at the end of the chapter, I'm going to expect a x-axis label, a y-axis label, and a title. This is the graph of a subway, speed of a subway car, so that's what I'm going to name it. Okay, there's your 3 titles. Okay, we have got some points to plot. Here's my x, here's my y. The first ordered pair is 1/2, 1/4. 1/2 is the time in minutes. So at a half a minute, it has traveled 1/4. Here's half, here's a fourth, 1/4 distance. At 1/2 mile, at 1/2 minute, it has traveled 1/4 of a mile. And then 3, 1.5. At 3 minutes, it has traveled 1.5 mile. Okay, whenever we're plotting these, we're going to connect them and then make sure there's an arrow as well to say that it continues on. Okay, so there's plotting those 2 points. Interpret the graph. Interpret just means kind of tell me what it says. What does the first point represent and the second point? Okay, so we can say the subway car went 1/4 mile in half a minute. Okay, find the speed of the subway car. Okay, we're going to write what we just wrote like a proportion. 1/4 mile in half a minute. We don't want to know a half minute. We always want to kind of know a full minute. Always want that denominator to be 1. So how do I get from a half minute to a whole minute? We should have to multiply it by 2, right? 1/2 times 2 over 1 is 1. Agreed? So if we multiply the bottom, or the denominators, by 2, we're going to multiply the top by 2. 1/4 times 2 is a half. This subway car travels 1/2 mile per minute. A half a mile per minute. Alrighty. This next one's a little bit more difficult to figure out. Stay with me. Use a ratio table to solve. You mix 1/2 cup of yellow paint for every 3/4 cups of blue paint. We want to make 15 cups of green paint. Yellow plus blue apparently is green. For every 1/2 cup of yellow we put in, we have to put in 3/4 cups of blue. Okay, so eventually, when you add these two together, 1/2 plus 3/4, remember this is 2/4 common denominator, we get 5/4. 2/4 plus 3/4 is 5/4. Agreed? So right now we're at 5/4 or 1 1/4 cup. We want to get all the way down here to 15 cups is how much green paint we want. Okay, this table has broken it up for us. We need to first figure out, because we're not sure here and here, we need to know how to get from 5/4 cups to 5 cups first. So you should be thinking 5/4 times something is 5. We don't really know that, so do the inverse to get from 5 to 5/4. So let's divide. Okay, I'm going to use the top of this paper. No, actually, I'll use right down here. 5 divided by 5/4. Okay, we're going to go the opposite way. We don't divide fractions. So we're going to do 5/1 times 4/5, which is 4. Okay, let's see if that works now. Let's say 5/4, and we're multiplying by 4. 5/4 times 4/1. It is 5, so that checks out. So we are going to multiply to get from 5/4 cups to 5 cups. You multiply by 4. Okay, so now we can multiply this by 4 and this by 4. Okay, 1/2 times 4 is 2 cups yellow. Sorry, made you dizzy. And let's do 3/4 times 4. So we're pretty much, quadrupling the recipe right now? 3 cups of blue. So now 2 cups of yellow, 3 cups of blue. We've got 5 total cups. Okay, not quite done. We've got 5 cups of green paint. We need 15 cups of green paint. So we're going to do it again. How do we get from 5 to 15? Well, that one was easy. You multiply by 3. Okay, so we had 2 cups. We're going to multiply it by 3, so we're going to add 6 cups of yellow. Multiply the blue paint by 3 and get 9 cups of blue paint, and we'll have 15 total cups. So how much yellow paint and blue paint do we need? We need 6 yellow cups, 9 blue cups, and that'll give us our 15 cups, total cups. That'll be green, apparently. Okay. And then, of course, it makes it go one step further. How much yellow paint and blue paint do you use to make 20 cups of green paint? Well, if you look at the bottom row, 15, we can't get from 15 to 20 very easily. So let's not look at that row. Let's look at this middle row. Okay. Oops, I didn't mean to, I thought that was a highlighter. Let's look at this middle row. Okay. I know that I can get from 5 cups to 20 cups by multiplying by 4. So let's start at the yellow cups. 2 times 4 would be your 20. I'm sorry, 2 times 4 would give you 8 cups yellow. Look at your blue cups, or your blue paint in the middle row. 3 cups times 4 would give you 12 cups blue. And then 5 cups times your 4 would give you 20 total cups. So to make 20 cups, we would need 8 cups yellow and 12 cups of blue. Okay. Alrighty, guys. I know that one was a little bit more difficult than the first one. Alright, guys. So there are your first set of notes for Chapter 5, ratios and rates.